if you are anything like me and you're highly driven, you often will suffer now in order for a greater future. And I will suffer for so long because what I want and I desire is so great that I suffer massively. Create a life that you actually want to wake up to. Landscaping, from like you working in a factory, like now life is pretty dang good. And here's the coolest part, it can get better. That's what I love. What up, guys? We're here, day 8, walks with Cody and Dakota. You got anything specific you want to go over today, buddy?
I got a few topics.
Dang, that boy came prepared.
Yeah, because like I had like a mental block yesterday, and I was telling you about it.
Yep.
And then finally, I was driving home, and I'm like, oh, this is what I was gonna ask. We
Mm.
were already talking about it yesterday morning.
Yep.
And some stuff. So when they find it, real quick. Woo!
Yeah, that was my phone.
It's broken, buddy.
Nope.
Good.
I accidentally answered a phone call.
You got a phone call too?
Yeah, like it like answered a phone call while I did it.
They're like, hello? All right, the topic I had down was we become so future focused that we forget to appreciate the life we have now.
What the heck? That's crazy, bro. Did you see my story this morning?
The one where after you run?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I started to watch it.
That's so funny. I talked about this yesterday with Andrew, actually.
Oh.
And then I talked about it with Kelly just now, and then I talked about it this morning. So yeah, dude, honestly, it must be like a hot topic and something to definitely talk about, because if you are anything like me and you're highly driven, you often will suffer now in order for a greater future. And I did that, and I've done that, and I'm so freaking good at it. I will suffer for so long because what I want and I desire is so great that I suffer massively. And like, I mean massively. So what I found is learning how to get what you want in the future without having to give up everything else, and ask yourself, to me, I think it just does come down to strategy and planning more. Whereas instead of me being strategic, I'm just like, okay, here's what I want, I'm gonna go get it. And then I just forget about everything else. But then I forget about all of the other stuff that I want. So to me, it's gonna be about creating a better strategy to not lose the other stuff that's also important to me, just for one drive. So what I would say to anybody who's extremely driven, looking for that, you know, sacrifice now mentality, and then like it's a destination, what I found is that destination just keeps moving. It just keeps moving and just keeps moving, and it will always continue to move. And so what I read in the book, Buy Back Your Time, was basically like really good advice. Dang, it's bright.
Yeah, it is. Hear those clouds even.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So the advice that he said was, create a life that you actually want to wake up to. Create a life that you're excited about. Figure out how you can get what you want without sacrificing the things that you don't ever want to get rid of or lose. And there is a way. Everybody says it's not possible and stuff, you know. I think there is a way if you're strategic enough and intentional enough. It's going to be hard. There's no question about that. But honestly, it's going to be hard either way. It's going to be hard if you get a goal and you lose your family. It's going to be hard if, like, you know, you're still overweight, because you like, no matter what, it's going to be hard. But I think if you're strategic enough, you can find a way to do it. So that would be my advice, is figure out how to structure your life to where you're living the life that you want now. Obviously, the future will get better, but how do you make everything better, as opposed to just one area goes up and the other thing just sinks? And so that's what I'm really leaning into here recently, is like, okay, instead of working freaking from, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning all the way until 10 o'clock at night, which I did for a very, very, very long time, probably like the last 10 years, is how can I live a life that I enjoy in every bucket, you know, spiritually, relationships, fitness, like monetarily wise, business wise, like how can I fulfill every area? And really what that comes down to is planning and strategy, which it's not fun, it's not sexy, but it is what it is. That's my advice, or what I would say to people.
That's the difficult part, is the planning and taking action daily.
Yep. You want to walk across the street?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Watch out for that car.
I didn't want to cut you off, and I was going to say something.
What do you want to say,
I
buddy?
don't remember what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Do you do that ever?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%, buddy.
Got it. So I used to dream about the life I'm living now, and thought like once I get here, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the goalpost keeps on moving.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be present, and be like grateful, actually, truly grateful of what we do have now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the thought was.
1,000%, dude. 1,000%. And so, yeah, I think that, I feel the same way. That's the interesting thing, is like, everybody looks at everybody else and they see anybody else that has more stuff, more things, right? Yeah. So no matter what, I think that always kind of feels that way. But at the end of the day, like, it is pretty good. Like, we do have it pretty good. And that's what we were talking about yesterday, just from, landscaping, from like you working in a factory. Like, now life is pretty dang good. Yeah. Compared to where we were at, it is good. And here's the coolest part. It can get better. Yeah. That's what I love. And so, like, it doesn't have to mean the suffering now. I do think sometimes there's like sacrifices. I like to call them, and this is something that I heard, instead of calling them sacrifices, call them investments. You're going to invest into your future. You're going to invest into your family. You're going to invest into your relationship. You're going to invest in your spirituality. You're going to invest in your health. That's what I like to call it more. Instead of calling it sacrificing these other areas, call it investments into what you're doing. And so sometimes you're going to invest more into different areas, but I think that you have, it's like kind of like your finances, you can have, okay, I'm going to invest 40% into my business right now. Then I'm going to invest this percent into this, and you can change the percentages. What most people do, though, is they don't reevaluate their percentages that they're investing into them. And I think that's what's important, because in different seasons in life, you're going to invest different amounts. And again, when we're talking about happiness, when we're talking about what we want, that changes. It changes from time to time. There's going to be times when you want more money. Well, everybody always wants more money, it seems like, but not really, actually. I'm pretty freaking content. It's not like I don't really care right now. Like, I'm to a point now where I'm like, I actually don't want more money. Like, not that I don't want it. It's not going to make my happiness level go up higher, and I know that. That's basically where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I'm not to a spot where I'm like, so maybe you do get to a spot where you actually don't care about money, or you don't need more money, because I don't actually want more money. That's true, actually. I don't want more money. I want more relationships. I want a family. I want intimacy. Those are the kind of things that I want now. And so now it's changing. Everything's changing. Before, all I wanted was more money, more business, more health. And then relationships are kind of on the back burner. Now it's kind of swapping to where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to invest 50% into relationships, and then 20%. And so I think that's what's really good to evaluate, is like, yeah, life is way better than it was in that area that you were striving for then. Yeah. Now where do you want? Now what area do you want more intentionality, more investments towards? And so that's really where I think the question comes into play, and that you have to reevaluate, is what area do you want to invest in more that's going to make you happier, and continuing to look at that and adjust it and go based on what you feel you need in the moment in order to feel happy. Now, here's the craziest part, and I say this a lot, but I'm going to say it again. The craziest part is it's not a destination thing. As soon as you identify, this will make me happier, this is where I need to invest more, and you start to make progress towards it, your happiness level will go up. Yeah. It just does. You're like, oh, dang, I know what I need to do in order to get me happier, and I'm making progress towards it. And you would just automatically be happier, because you know that you're not ignoring the thing anymore. You're actually progressing towards what you believe is going to make you happier. So.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Right now, I want, and I know how, is the funny thing. I know how to get in really good shape.
Yep.
And it's just like doing that.
Okay.
I want that. I want to get to a place where
Let's talk about that one first. That one's a freaking good one. So you said you want to and you know how.
Yep.
So here's the interesting thing. You know how on like a strategic, like okay, if I run this amount, if I do this, that's what you mean, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what to do. Be in a calorie deficit.
Yep.
I know how to structure my workouts.
Yep. So here's the question. Do you know how to get yourself to actually be able to accomplish it?
I do.
Okay. And then what would those things be, and are you willing to do them? And if not, what would make the chances or the probability of you doing them increase? That's why they call it an investment.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we're like, oh, I know how to work out. I know, like, I just eat less and I'm not gonna hire somebody. Most of the time that's your ego talking. But if you are like, I'm gonna hire a coach because I want this so bad, I'm going to invest into my health. And so you're gonna hire somebody to hold you accountable. You're gonna hire a coach to do this certain thing. I'm gonna hire a meal plan. I'm going to do this certain thing. When you invest money in time into something, it's that much more likely to get done.
Yeah.
And so that to me is going to be the real determining factor on how bad you actually want to lose weight. Right. Are you willing to invest your time and money into it?
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think, buddy? Are you?
I am. Yeah. I don't know what's been going on. I've been like doing my workouts, and I know what it is. It's probably I'm not being in a calorie deficit, and I'm not all in like I should be, like I know I should be.
And so the question would be, what would you think would make you the higher probability that would actually be the thing that you're going to get? What could you do to increase the probability of that happening?
Well, I could actually be consistent with like watching what I eat and logging my food, so I know for sure.
Yep.
What I'm eating, how many calories I'm eating, and then actually tracking how many I'm burning a day. And, that would be step one.
That's a freaking great idea, dude. That is a great step one. That is just that alone, it will freaking make strides because then you're more conscious about what you're doing. So just tracking it is a freaking great idea. Yeah,
and that's something I keep like struggling with. Like, it's a priority, and then I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to track today. And then it's a week, and then it's 2 weeks.
Is it on your daily list?
It was until about 2 weeks ago. And so I need to put it back on.
Yep. If it's a priority, dude, that's the interesting thing is like, if it's a priority, then a lot of times when you're not doing it, you just want to take it off because it's the hard thing. And then it comes off and then you realize, dang it, dude, that's what's the most important. So you got to put it back on. And
it seems like that's one of the hardest things to do.
100%, dude.
Because like when you go over, you're like, damn it, dude. I just tracked all that. I'm still over. It's like,
yep.
It's a hard reality. It's a hard truth.
100%, dude. It's good data to have, though. That's a freaking, you got to put it back on the list now, buddy.
Yeah. And I need to increase my activity level. Even though I'm already doing quite a bit, I think I need to do even more.
And the question is, how could you do more without consistently? How could you do more consistently? So sometimes that's just breaking it up. Sometimes that's going for walks. Sometimes that's waking up earlier.
Yeah, I think I need to get back on my actually waking up on time. Going to bed earlier, that would be a huge help for me to wake up on time and do what I used to do every day. Wake up at 5 or 6 and get my full workout in.
Yep.
To start the day. Because if I wait until after work or during work, I'm sacrificing time to make money, or I'm sacrificing family time.
100%.
And sleep. So I just got to get done in the morning.
It's crazy.
Most days,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so, I heard different things of reminders for people. I heard this from the time I went out to see Ed Milet. What they do is you can name your timers. Yeah. And so you could name your timer in the morning, like family time, or like a reminder of what you'd be sacrificing if you don't wake up at that time.
Yeah. And I think I used to, let me see, I think I had one. I don't remember if it's my iPhone or my Android that I had it on, but I used to have those.
Let's go.
Good idea to start doing again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
It's gonna be good, buddy.
I can tell I'm making small progress.
Yep.
or maintaining. I'm kind of in between maintaining and making small strides.
Well, dude,
when I could do more.
Yeah, the small strides are great.
Yeah.
As long as you're making small strides in progress, I feel like it's still really, really good. Like you're still got to give yourself some credit. That's the other part that I would say is important too, is like when you're measuring it, instead of measuring from like where you are and where you want to be, measure your progress. Measure like, have I gotten better? Have I eaten less? Have I done that? Like, see your trajectory, and that'll help you more than just like, am I there or not yet? Again, it's that same destination thing we're talking about.
Yep.
Stop measuring the destination and like what your goal necessarily is, but your progress towards it. Am I getting better? Am I getting closer? And that, again, is just a different perspective. It's kind of similar to all the stuff that we talked about with the kids, with the, you know, giving them not based on the result, but based on like their effort.
Yeah.
And so just by you tracking the calories, you should be giving yourself some credit for even doing that, tracking the calories, doing that and seeing your trajectory. It's just an objective way to look at it. But then, yeah, give yourself some credit for it, dude.
Yeah.
You're putting in the work. You're doing more than what you did yesterday, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure. Because I also compare myself to what I've done in the past. Like,
Yep.
it was like 2019, I lost like 60 pounds. I got down to like 220. Did my first Spartan race, killed it.
Yep.
So I compare myself to then too. That's what I can do it.
Yep.
I've done it before.
Yep.
So
compare yourself to where you want to go, not where you've been, buddy. That's what I always say.
yeah. Both show, dude.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Hope you liked today. Day 8. Let's go.